Here we go. I'm back. This is Robin O'Neill. How are you guys? This is me reading stuff. And here we are. Yet again, I am going to talk about the frequency at which I post these podcasts because I was on a roll. What did I do it for a month straight? Like kind of on the dot almost. And then all of a sudden, as you will hear in the bulk of this podcast, which I've already recorded, I just hadn't recorded an intro yet. I sort of did it opposite because I was just in a discombobulated mood. And you're going to hear it. I've not been in a good place. I've not been in a great mood, and I have not felt great physically for the last almost week. And so things just kind of crashed for me. And nothing that dramatic, but I can just tell you guys that the old me, I never allowed myself time, or I guess I never allowed myself to fuck up so much. And now it's not that I'm fucking up by not recording like Thursday at noon sharp or something. I don't see it that way anymore, but I used to see things that way. And the main thing is that I give myself a break. And that was something that took me almost 50 years to learn how to do. And so I'm sharing that with you guys just in case any of you guys are equally hard on yourselves in any way. I mean, I've been hard on myself in every single way possible my whole life, about the way I look, about the way I sound, about if I'm smart enough, if I'm successful enough, am I good enough artist? Do people like me? Am I being pleasant enough? I mean, on and on. Just think of anything you can put out there as a goal. And I wanted to make sure I would be really good at all things you could even set out to be. And now, you know, it's a little bit with age. A lot of my homies who are in this general age vicinity of mine, you know, late 40s, early 50s, around this time is when a lot of us start to, we tire of that. It's not tenable anymore to, I don't know, attempt to just be everything to everyone. And, you know, this podcast, I say it again and again and again and again. This podcast means the world to me. I actually think it's the most important output that I actually put into the world. And I am including my drawings. And I know that might seem crazy to some of you who follow me because of my drawings and my work, but there is just something about this that I've never been able to explain. And so when I am not present enough, whether it be due to my physical well-being or my mental well-being, and when I can't do this, and I really mean it, if I'm not doing this, it means I truly can't do this. I'm finally letting myself off the hook. And so this whole last week was such a struggle because not only was I already feeling bad in a lot of ways, I was also just beating myself up. Like, Robin, you've done this for a month. Why can't you just fucking hit record? It should not be this difficult for you. Like, you like to talk. You have a lot to say. You have a lot of thoughts. You have a lot of books you've read. Like, let's do this. What's the big deal? And at a certain point on Friday evening, I just said, just stop. Just stop. I said to myself, I had to just try to, I don't even know how to describe it. I just had to stop beating myself up. That's all. I had to just, and honestly, what did I do? I sat on the couch and I watched The Bold and the Beautiful. And that's it. And I had to do that. And so then the next day I thought for sure I'd be able to record the podcast. You'll hear, because the bulk of the podcast is coming up. I attempted many times, and you're going to hear me in a not so great mood, and that's okay too. Because again, what I love to do on this podcast and what I get a lot of emails from people about is how honest I am with my feelings and my thoughts and the inner workings of what it feels like to be a human being trying to figure out how to live on this planet, how to navigate the highs and lows of every single day. And my God, with me and my amount of feelings, it's like different every 10 minutes for me, you know? And so I feel like you guys get something out of this. I would love to be just a bright, shining light in this world all the time. I would love to just have so much inspiration to give, so many positive thoughts and affirmations to share with you. But honestly, I'm feeling low. I'm just feeling low right now. And I'm battling a lot of internal stuff. So that's the truth of the matter. And that's where I am today. And that is okay. And thank you for accepting me as I am. I also accept you as you are, no matter what kind of mood you're in. As long as you're not out there being a complete racist piece of shit or out there doing horrible things to people, then I support your mood. Okay. Speaking of moods, let's get into it. You're about to hear me in quite a lot of moods. So let's go. Okay, we're going to do something different today. I'm launching in as I'm trying to clean my desk. My mic is on the desk. There are papers everywhere. Does anybody recall when I recently told you about the 3 or 4 separate massive piles of things, even though they were, some of which were inside, quote, organizational boxes, it was still just masses of papers, folders, notebooks, office supplies, discs, like old CDs, paper clips. Speaking of paper clips, as I open these 2 drawers, you can probably hear this. I have 2 drawers in my desk. Do you guys want to guess how many little boxes or containers or baggies there were for paper clips alone? Go ahead and yell out your guesses right now. Okay? Did anybody guess 7? Because there were 7 of them. In these 2 small desk drawers, they are not that big. I had managed to have 7 different spots for paper clips. And the saddest part is I've got a really cool one that I bought at the Container Store or something, and it's magnetized. It's like a really cool, it looks like wood, but it really is just a magnetized thing where they all stick to it. Well, they don't actually, because I just spilt it over. I just poured it over, and none of them stayed. So, okay, this one sucks too. The other one was a ramekin from the kitchen. Another one looked like it was from a jewelry box, like a cardboard jewelry box. Another one was another like little ring holder. There were 2 different ones that were in like snack saran wrap baggies. I've known people who hate the word baggie, so every time I say baggie, I get kind of weirded out. And then some really nice like Container Store clear plexiglass ones. I mean, I use paper clips maybe, and we're pushing it on this, maybe once every 2.5 months. And when I do, I use 1 paper clip. It's not like I need what I have, which is thousands of paper clips and in many different spots. Anyway, you guys, okay, so what we're going to do today is I'm going to just keep checking in as I go through my daily routine. And I'll tell you, and most likely it'll be another thing that I'm highly annoyed with myself about. And that's just kind of the mood I'm in. And so last night was Friday, and that was sort of my deadline to get another podcast out. And, I was keeping up with all of this stuff. And then I'll just be honest with you. I don't know what's going on, but for the last 4 days or so, maybe more than that, a little bit more than that, pretty much all week, I have just been in a bad mood. I am not sure what is going on, but I just kind of am not doing well. And I was up until that moment, or whatever that day was where everything turned. I have some suspicions about what might be going on, but I'm not going to say it out loud yet. We're going to wait and see. It's probably medical. With me, it's usually medical. And yes, I don't feel good. I'll be honest. I had to start physical therapy this week because I have an impinged rotator cuff now, along with everything else I have. This like arthritis or osteoarthritis in both sides of my neck and shoulders. I mean, I am just, I don't know. I don't know. All I know, you guys, is that I'm not in a great mood. And rather than just skip this altogether, I thought I'd share it with you guys, because that is kind of what we do here on Me Reading Stuff, is we share our honesty. We go through things together. We go through our just insane amount of paper clips. We throw them out. I've gone to Goodwill so much in the last week. Anyway, I'm getting through it. I'm going to keep going through. I'm almost done with the final pile on the floor of my office. And when I do that, I do think that that will make me feel a million times better. Not about everything. There's still going to be some problems. Oh, look at this. I just found a Grapevine High School. This is my old Grapevine High School senior year report card. Wow. Second semester, I got 100, 100, 100, 100, 99, and 100. Now that's kind of impressive, I've got to say. Let's see. Oh, didn't do so good in some other economics. I don't even remember taking economics. Though that's where I dipped a bit. I went down to 91. That was the lowest grade I got. Anyway, I don't know what this is doing here, along with a recent x-ray result. Everything is just a complete mess. Is anybody else how do you guys handle, how do you not get just super bothered by yourself? You know, how do you not just want to just strangle yourself half the time? I just don't understand how I don't have it together here at age 48, almost 49 years old. I want to be so much better at everything I do, and it just doesn't happen. I always think, oh yeah, I've crossed that bridge, now I've got that under control, but no, I'm still losing things, I'm still confused, I'm still having a hard time keeping up with emails. Here's something. Here's just a piece of paint from a paint chip from the outside of my house that I found in the grass and decided to label paint chip. No need to do that. I know we have the paint that I would need, so it's not like I've got to go match this, but I'm really glad I took the time to collect this and put it in this, again, here's the word, baggie. And I not only labeled it on the front side, but also on the back side, just in case I didn't know that I could turn it over and look for the label, even though it's very clearly a chip of house paint from the outside of our house. Which reminds me, that is kind of true. Because of all the rain here, I guarantee we're going to have to get our house painted soon, and that's going to be a nightmare. Anyway, all right, guys, listen. I'm a joy to be around today, aren't I? I'm going to go ahead and apologize, even though I can't really help it. This is how it is. I love you guys. More in a bit. Just found another little container for paper clips. This time they are the giant paper clips. So now we've got that covered. Also found 4 places for standard staples. I use staples even less than I use paper clips. Maybe once a year do I use a stapler. So, I mean, I hope somebody who's starting a new business is going to go to the Goodwill near me soon, because they're about to find a treasure trove. They're going to be set for fucking life here. Don't even remember if I talked to you about my stapler issue yet. Got Japanese staples. I've got some sort of deeper set staples, and we've got some sort of standard staples. We've got 2 staple removers. This is just in this one desk. We haven't even ventured into my studio, where I know I'm going to find definitely a staple gun and those industrial size staples, which I've never used, but I know I have them, and probably another stapler remover and probably another stapler, along with God knows how many of these staples I have. So it's getting worse by the minute, everybody. I do realize the goal, and this is what my therapist would say, is to just, forgive yourself. Just move on, just clean it up. move on. There's no need to feel all of these feelings about it. You know, I made some mistakes. I bought too many staples. Also, I have a hole punch from when I was a child. That's kind of cool, I guess, but it barely even works. And I definitely, I haven't used this since probably middle school. So I'm thinking it's time to get rid of it. And it does feel good to get rid of things like this. But anyway, are you guys good at this, or do you just find things to want to beat yourself up about? Found some more staples. I also found now another container full of binder clips of all sizes. So not only, and guess what's in there? Another staple remover. I'm telling you, it's a little out of control. And I wouldn't call myself a hoarder, but I do know that my grandmother, my dear grandmother, Grandma Ginny, was a hoarder. And I think that I could have been a really, really serious hoarder. And I do think, I know it's a mental illness, and I know that it's a really sad thing when you've really known. I don't know if any of you guys have really known hoarders before, but there is something to it. And I think the reason that I'm getting so upset as I do all of this is because I see how close I am at any given moment to going full hoarder and really like losing it, and there's something about how I need, and it's tied to my obsessive compulsive disorder, where at certain times in my life, I need something in each room. Like I also found many nail files in every single room of the house this week. And it's like, why couldn't I just know that I can get up and go get the nail file from the bathroom? But I remember very vividly in 2023, it seemed imperative that I have one near anywhere I might be sitting. So there was, and this isn't a small house. We've got a lot of room here, along with keeping it in my bag at all times, a nail file. And I don't even file it's not that important for me to file my nails constantly. This isn't like one of my things in life where, oh my God, I love filing my nails. So anyway, I think the reason I'm getting so upset, and I don't know why I'm sharing all of this with you guys, but I am, is because it shows me a sickness and a potential sickness on top of all the other illnesses that I'm already, constantly in charge of within my body and mind. And it's just like, I just want somebody to send me away to somewhere with a lazy river for at least, I think I need 2 months to just get away from myself and my stuff and my ways of being and my doctor appointments and my physical therapy appointments and all of the ties that bind, so that I can just kind of learn how to just exist as a human being again, without all of these reminders of all of the dumb mistakes and all of the horrible tendencies I have. So that's all I've got for right now. Okay, we're now on Monday, so I think I skipped a couple of days or a few days. I do want to report that I'm sitting in the office. All the piles are gone. Now, does this make me feel like a million times better about who I am? Does this make me feel less concerned about my issues in life? Not really, but it does feel really good to see just a clear floor. Honestly, it almost feels weird because it has been now so many years, 23, 4, 5, 6, 3 years? 3 years of these piles. Oh my God. And I think I told you guys one of the piles, though, I did take care of earlier, was the pile of all of these photos of Billy and me and Billy and our early life together, being in college, and it was just heartbreaking. I found some more of those. I need to get to the point in my grieving process from losing Billy where I can see his sweet face, smiling face in these photos and not just be destroyed. That would be the goal that I have for myself, and instead just be so happy that I got to know such a great human being and that we had a life together that was so rich and so fun and so happy in so many ways. Because overall, that's what it was, Anyway, gone too soon, and it's very rough still. And thank you to all of you guys. A lot of you guys reached out after I talked about the loss of Billy, and some of whom knew Billy, some of whom had just heard me talk about him, or people who just didn't know anything but just knew. They could tell this was not a happy report. And anyway, everybody was really nice. So thank you. I also just wanted to tell you guys, and then I'm going to quickly go back to my studio, but I was just going through another little pile that's been sitting around in my studio. Now, a studio pile is a different kind of pile. Studio piles are annoying, but they're not quite as devastating as in the rest of the house, because it's a studio and we're artists and we got a lot of shit and that's how it goes and it's no big deal. But this area was interesting. A lot of, I don't know if I've ever told you guys this, but I have like all of my pens, pencils, erasers, pencil toppers. I have so much of that from my elementary school days. And I just recently found these stamps that have my name spelled correctly, Robyn. And they're self-inking stamps, where they're almost like a little, you don't have to use a pad. It's inside of it. And one is a heart with my name in it. Another one is a Hello Kitty, little kitty cat with my name on it. Another one just says thank you. And another one says my name just all the way across, just the word Robyn. And they all still work. And I remember vividly the Hello Kitty one, getting it in second grade. And the other one I got in third grade. There's that last one, I may have gotten it in fifth grade. And I am almost 49 years old. April 30th, I'll be 49 years old. So it's just wild to me. Like, how does this still, it looks perfect if I were to stamp it on an envelope. So anyway, that's exciting. Oh, so anyway, within this little collection, I at least have those in their own little bag and I know where they are, and that's cool. Well, in this section of my studio, there was also, in 2023, another thing that I was going to do was I was going to learn how to do calligraphy really well. Because as a kid, I tried and I was okay. I would say for an amateur self-taught calligrapher, I was okay. But I don't know. I really thought, let's really do this. And so I got all of these supplies and all of these books and all of this stuff. And that was right before I had a breakdown. And so I never got to it. And a lot of the supplies I got were not even that nice. They were so shitty. And I had this moment, and I haven't really had this yet, but this is a thing that comes with aging, I think, where I go, and especially with everything I've gone through where I really did almost die a couple of times last year, I thought, you know what? I'm never going to do this, because I was about to pack it up nicely and put it in a certain section for when I do calligraphy. And then I thought, you know what? You are almost 50 years old. You already have about 15,271 hobbies and interests, and you can barely get through the day and remember to eat properly. So are you really thinking calligraphy is going to be the thing? And, it both elates me to have had this realization that I'm not going to be a calligrapher in this lifetime. There's so many things I'm not going to be that I'm now willing to admit. Whereas prior to this past year, I never would have admitted that. I'm like, oh yeah, I am. I'm going to be the best there ever was at all of these things. And I have so many interests. Like, everything excites me, if you guys haven't noticed. Everything excites me. I want to do everything, and I want to do it really well, and I want to really learn it. But I just finally had to come to the point on a couple of, and I can only imagine what's going to be next as I go through my studio and this one closet that I still have to go through. And for the most part, though, I do want to report I'm getting to the end of the line. Like, things are getting better. I'm getting cleaned up and organized in a way that I've truly never been. This is also because of last year and because of the dramatic experience that I had of going through, knowing that I very easily could not come back from the hospital when I did go to the hospital. I mean, both times, but even the first time when the surgery was probably going to go well and everything. So I had to do this very, very traumatic exercise on my computer where I had to make sure to write down every single password for everything important for Damien and make sure he knew how to get to everything in case I passed away. And having that experience, which I'm sure some of you listening have gone through something like this, whether it be yourself or with a parent or a grandparent, but doing it for yourself when you kind of think you're young, like I really did think I just never saw this coming in my 40s, to have to get my shit together in case I am not coming back. And I can't remember. We had to have these talks. I mean, they kind of encouraged me to at the hospital. And anyway, there's now I live with this reality of the end can be any moment now in a way that you think you do. You think you do, right? Everybody knows, like, well, every day is a gift and you never know. You could just get hit by a bus outside today. And we all say that and we all kind of do know that. But I can just tell you the experience that I went through and what I'm going through even now, the way I see things is just so different. I mean, I'm already getting rid of like half of my stuff too, just because I'm just like, what is the point of all of this? Like I live with excess. Damien and I both, we have excessive personalities. We just have excessive ideas about things. Everything's a little bit in excess. And I don't know, to give myself some calm, I need a lot less. I'm not saying I'm turning into a minimalist. I don't think, you guys, I don't know what's going on with me. I don't think that will ever be me. Excuse my voice and my allergies. Yeah, I don't know if any of this is making sense, but I just need less. And at some point in 2023 and 2024, as I was trying to, heal from what had gone on with me mentally, I remember thinking, every decision I make from here on out will be made with the understanding that I need to make my life simpler, not more complex. Every decision, whether it be just a simple trip to the grocery store and what I buy, whether it be the way I clean my closet. For instance, when I was cleaning up these piles on the floor last week, or the weekend, I should have just, I wish I could just do it real plainly, like just pick it up, just throw away the things you don't need, put the other things away. It's good enough. But instead, I make it an ordeal and I make it a thing. But if I were to have made that decision to make my life simpler, it would have been a very practical experience. Just go through the pile, separate it out, move on with your day. And, that is the goal. And I think, the more I get older, the more I just respect the hell out of people who are naturally practical like that. It's a cool thing. And I think I'm somewhere in the middle. I think I was supposed to be really practical. I think I was born really practical. And then I had a lot of neuroses, let's say, develop, and a lot of my nervous system got kind of fucked up. And so then things got a little bit jumbled up. But I'm kind of getting back to it. This again reminds me, now, did I not bring this up 2 episodes ago? Anne Boyer, Boyer, Anne Boyer. That's probably gonna be our reading today. Give me a minute to think about it, but the 2 types of people, yeah, because this is reminding me of that. All right, I just got back from a walk. We're gonna read Anne Boyer. We're gonna read from Garments Against Women. This book came out in, Let me tell you when. 2015. From Asata Press in Boise, Idaho. And in my opinion, is one of the greatest books to come out in the last several decades. And this is the section called At Least Two Types of People. There are at least two types of people. The first for whom the ordinary worldliness is easy. The regular social routines and material cares are nothing too external to them and easily absorbed. They are not alien from the creation and maintenance of the world, and the world does not treat them as alien. And also, from them, the efforts towards the world, and to them, the fulfillment of the world's moderate desires, flow. They are effortless at eating, moving, arranging their arms as they sit or stand, being hired, being paid, cleaning up, spending, playing, mating. They are in an ease and comfort. The world is for the world and for them. Then there are those over whom the events and opportunities of the everyday world wash over. There is rarely, in the second type, any easy kind of absorption. There is only a visible evidence of having been made of a different substance, one that repels. Also, from them, it is almost impossible to give to the world what it will welcome or reward. For how does this second type hold their arms? Across their chest? Behind their back? And how do they find food to eat and then prepare this food? And how do they receive a check and endorse it? And what also of the difficulties of love or being loved, its expansiveness, the way it is used for markets and indentured moods? And what is this second substance? And how does it come to have, as one of its qualities, the resistance of the world as it is? And also, what is the person made of, the second substance? Is this a human, or more or less than one? Where is the true impermeable community of the second human whose arms do not easily arrange themselves, and for whom the salaries and weddings and garages do not come? These are, perhaps, not two sorts of persons, but two kinds of fortune. The first is soft and regular. The second is a baffled kind, and magnetic only to the second substance, and made itself out of a different second substance, and having, at its end, a second and almost blank-faced reward. That is Anne Boyer. And I have read that exact piece on Me Reading Stuff several times throughout the last 10 plus years. And I have a feeling I'll continue to do so because it never fails to sort of stick a knife right in my heart every time I read it. There is a street cleaner coming by. Here we go. Let's wave. Here it comes. She did not want to wave back. She was not having that. She did not think it was cute. Anyway, everybody, I'm going to put a link in the description of where you can find this book. This original copy, I don't think you can find very easily, but I think there's another one. I'm going to look into that for you. I love you. More in a minute. This podcast feels so unhinged and so disjointed. Do you guys have anything that you do like the way that I do this podcast, which is you just do it and you have no expectations for the outcome really, but you just know you need to do something? That is sort of how I'm feeling about this, in that I needed to do it anyway. And I don't know why, but I'm just going with it. And when you have these instincts in life, you just got to go with it. I want to encourage everybody right now. Everybody listen up, take notes. This is going to be the easiest note you've ever taken. Listen to your instincts, baby. You understand that? You have instincts that you're trying to overanalyze and when you do that, you kind of kill it. You kill those that intuition and those instincts. So, whatever it is that you're thinking of when I talk to you about your instincts, like you've got some sort of instinct right now, you just got to listen to it, okay? Stop questioning it. Stop worrying about it. Just trust it. And your instinct matters just as much as, 15 different Instagram posts about the same topic, or Pinterest page, or TikTok videos where you're trying to like get something to back you up on something, Is this making sense? Basically, I think none of us trust ourselves enough, including me. And right now, this happened to stem from the fact that I know this podcast sucks and it's way too long. The other thing was I was like, oh, this will be, I'm having a bad week, so I'm just going to get in here and record a couple of annoying notes about how annoyed I am with myself and my piles of shit in my house. And it'll end up being like the old days, like a nice 5 to 10 minute podcast. And I do intend on giving you a 5 to 10 minute podcast, but apparently it didn't happen this time. Apparently I had a lot to complain about. So apologies, but also no apologies, because I'm just doing my thing. I'm just doing it, and I need to do it. So here I am, being raw Robbie. I'm raw dogging it with you guys. All right, that's it for today. You guys, let's close this out. I was going to say, take a deep breath. But honestly, I'm one of those people who, when I notice and when I intentionally breathe deeply, I can actually cause more anxiety. It does the opposite of calm me down, because then I'm all paranoid about my breathing style and I start obsessing on whether or not I'm doing it properly. Anyway, I need a lot of help, don't I? At least this week I do. Last week I was perfect. I was a specimen of utter perfection, and now I guess all hell broke loose again. Okay, back to, we were supposed to be winding down. We're winding down. We're going to let you go on your way, people. You're going to go be amazing. You're going to write that paper. You're going to write that poem. You're going to finish that painting. You're going to blow people's minds apart with your work. Your work and your output are about to be so extraordinary and so unique and so beautiful that the people around you are going to be speechless when they encounter you and your work. You are a legend. You're a legend in the making, and we all know it. We all feel it from every single thing you do, everything you say, everything you believe, everything you post on social media. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing yourself with the world. Thank you for not sugarcoating it. Thank you for being direct and honest. And thank you for listening to your instincts and following yourself and not following all those people on Pinterest and TikTok. That's all for now, my dear, steady, patient, and intriguing companions. I'll be here next week again if I can figure out a way to get through it all, or at least if I can mimic that first type of person, as mentioned in Anne Boyer's piece today. But in the meantime, I am a type 2, based on her estimations. Not good, but it is my reality. Where am I going to put my arms? What food am I going to eat? I just downed a protein bar, and I'm not happy about it. I should have had a full meal, and instead I just grabbed a protein bar. Anyway, here we go. We shall find peace. We shall hear angels. We shall see the sky sparkling with diamonds. That is Anton Chekhov. I'm Robin O'Neill, and you are you, and I love you. I'll talk to you guys next week. Goodbye. Goodbye.